I think we're in the group. It didn't say it's connected, but it popped up on the back. So looks like we're good to go.
Cool. I can pull it up on my phone real quick too. I think I joined
Okay,
your group today.
yeah. Oh, nice. Okay.
I sometimes don't get like comments when I stream, like I
Yes.
don't see them,
Okay.
and it's really annoying. What is your group called?
It's Vegan Wellness and Hormone Secrets. Did you find it?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, we are live. Okay, perfect.
Yay. Yeah, I
I'll
thought
pull
I
it up.
can see it, but you're right. Sometimes the comments don't come through. And it's
Yeah.
you'll be all like doing this really great live and like nobody's commenting and you get done and there's 10 comments and you're like, oops.
Yep. Yeah, I had that happen a few weeks ago in my group. I think I was doing a giveaway and I was like, I'm giving stuff away for people to ask
Mhm.
questions, and normally I get a bunch of questions, and I was like, what the heck? One of my clients messaged me and she's like, there's like 30 comments on there. And I'm like, I'm not seeing anything. By the end, there were probably close to 60 comments and none of them showed up on my computer.
Oh, that's frustrating.
I always pull up my phone.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's what we do too. It's just, it seems safer.
Yeah, for sure. So you don't miss anybody.
Right. All right. Wonderful. Well, we can go ahead and get kicked off here. I know that we are in the group. I think we've got a few people that are watching. So wonderful. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We have a special guest tonight, Amanda. Amanda does own a coaching company and you work with women mostly too, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But Amanda's come in tonight and she is going to share with us a little bit about the long-term effects of dieting or chronic calorie restriction. So super interesting topic. I'm really excited to dive in and just kind of going to turn it over to Amanda.
Yeah. I think I see it's pretty common among women really to restrict calories. And I think for a multitude of reasons, but you and I both know and work with women that they're busy. A lot of times they're moms, maybe they're working moms, and it just becomes like a chronic habit. And it kind of goes unnoticed, right? Not eating enough food. And you start to experience these symptoms that you don't necessarily correlate with under eating. And like I said, we see it all the time. Women come to us and they're like, I look at food and I gain weight. I can't lose weight to save my life. I go on vacation. I come back 10 pounds heavier. My sleep is garbage. My stress is garbage. I feel like garbage. What is going on? Why can't I lose weight? And usually what has happened is metabolic adaptation because of years, months, years, however long it's been of chronic dieting. And I've talked to women that have done it for 20 years. They're in their 40s, they're in their 50s, and they're like, I've been doing some kind of diet since I was in high school. And so it's a pretty common issue. And what I tend to see happen is these women get diagnosed with things like adrenal fatigue, or that's really the main one that I'm seeing now. And the reality is their lifestyle is playing a huge role in that. And a lot of it comes back to years and years and years of chronic dieting. And there's a lot of symptoms that we can start to experience when we aren't consistently eating enough, because your body's goal is to keep you alive, right? That's all it cares about. It doesn't care about your weight loss goals. It doesn't care that you want to lose 30 pounds, 100 pounds. It just wants to keep you alive, and it's going to do whatever it can to do that. So what happens is your body, when it's not getting enough energy, decides to downregulate a lot of your systems. Your sex hormones start to downregulate, your thyroid starts to downregulate. A lot of these things start to downregulate so your body can reserve more energy. And that can be really frustrating when you want to change your body composition, when you want to lose weight. And I'm not trying to steal the show here. If you have anything to say, go ahead and butt in.
You're doing awesome.
And I know it can be really frustrating. And then us coaches come in and we say, well, you need to eat more. well, what does that look like, right? What does the process of restoring your metabolism look like? And that's not necessarily what we're talking about tonight, but the source of the issue is inconsistently eating enough. And what tends to happen, at least with my clients, and you can tell me if it's the same with yours, is they restrict like Monday through Friday, and then the weekend hits and they're having a couple like 3,000 calorie days. And so their body, their metabolism goes, okay, I've been starving for 5 days. Like, I don't know if you're going to give me more energy than this. So I'm going to hold on to every bit that you give me. So now gaining weight has become a lot easier because your metabolism has adapted to lower calories. Have you experienced something similar?
Yeah, we see that from time to time, for sure.
Yeah. So let me pull up my notes really quick, but one of the big things that happens when we are chronically dieting, we see a increase in your hunger hormone, ghrelin, which I always remember is your hunger hormone because it sounds like grr, like your stomach's, growling. And this is a hormone that's secreted by your gut, but it is the main hunger hormone that tells your brain you're hungry. And so you'll find yourself over consuming more palatable foods when you are consistently under eating because that hormone is increased. And so you're going to reach for things that are maybe more palatable, not very satiating. They don't keep you very full, and they're not necessarily going to support the body composition goals that you're after. And then you'll see a decrease in leptin, which is the opposite of ghrelin, right? It's your satiety hormone. So that is the hormone that tells you that you are full. And so that starts to downregulate. And then you also will see a decrease in your thyroid and in your metabolism, which both of those things kind of work together. I mean, the thyroid hormone is pretty much responsible for your metabolism, when put simply. So that's going to determine how many calories you burn every day. When you're chronically dieting, that number of calories that you burn every day starts to decrease, whether that's because your daily activity is decreasing because you are eating less food, so your body has less energy, so you're moving less. And then they've actually found that your exercise, like your calorie expenditure from exercise, can start to decrease. So you might be doing a similar workout or training really, really hard 4, 5, 6 days a week, doing tons and tons of cardio, but you're not reaping the same benefits because you don't have as much energy available. So now you're not burning as many calories. So you really do have to fuel the calorie burning fire, right? Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, no, I think that was a great analogy. And I'm glad you brought up the exercise component too, because something that we do see a lot of, because everyone's exercising and they think that exercise is the key to fat loss when it's not. But because of living in that chronic deficit, your body isn't getting enough fuel in. And so it will start to pull from your reserves. Part of your reserves is not necessarily just your fat, it's also your muscle cells. And that plays another big part in the metabolism downregulation because your muscle cells have a capacity, they have to have energy. And your fat cells don't have to have energy. So the more muscle cells we have, the more energy that we can consume, and not have a negative output on the scale. But
Yeah, no,
no,
totally.
that's great.
And on that point, they've actually done studies that have shown comparing two different like calorie deficits. So putting one group of people in a calorie deficit through their nutrition and a group of people that they put in a calorie deficit in terms of exercise. And the people that actually created a calorie deficit in terms of exercise lost a lot less muscle mass. And so the people that just dieted lost a lot more muscle mass than they did body fat. And so it's important that you pair both of those things together. One, you're eating enough food so you can recover properly from however much exercise that you're doing, because most people are not necessarily overtraining, they're under recovering And that usually comes in the form of calorie intake. And then resistance training. So like you said, you can hold on to as much muscle mass as possible, if not maintain or gain muscle mass in the process. If you're new to like lifting, you'll probably be able to gain some muscle while losing body fat in the long term. If you've been training for a while, really just focusing on like keeping as much as you can while dieting, especially the leaner that you get, is more realistic. So just thought I'd throw that fun fact out there. So if you're just focusing on nutrition, you're not necessarily going to get the body composition that you want. But if you're just focusing on training, you're also not going to get the body composition that you want. So both of those things really work together. It's just important that you are fueling your resistance training.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm glad you brought up like the fact that when you're newer to exercise, it's so much easier for you to be able to build some muscle and lose fat. For the rest of the population that is not new to exercise, that doesn't happen anymore. The body's job is to keep us alive. That's all it wants to do, right? So it becomes efficient at that. So you're going to stop seeing the positive increase of muscle and the decrease in body fat just because your body's used to it. And that's simply what it does now. So it no longer needs to do that. I see that a lot in people that are wanting to do a show, and they are under the mistaken concept that they're going to be building all this muscle up to the show date, and you're not. The off season is so important.
It's so important because I tell people this all the time. You can't sculpt a pebble. So
No.
if you are just dieting and you're just focusing on weight loss, and that is your primary focus, you are just going to look like a smaller version of yourself. And that's where kind of looking like skinny fat comes in, because you might not have a good base layer of muscle mass. You're only going to reveal what's already there because of the dieting. So, especially if you are a chronic dieter, because something that commonly happens is women diet, lose their 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, and then they come off the diet because it's a restrictive fad diet, right? They go back to what they were doing before, they gain the weight back, but those 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds that they lost were glycogen stores, so water, muscle, and body fat. And then when they gain it back, they gain back water and body fat. You typically don't gain back muscle unless at least a lot of muscle. So you're continuously increasing your body fat percentage when you are doing that. And many people do that repeatedly. Like a lot of the women I work with have dieted 4, 5, 6 times. Don't remember the last time they didn't. And so they continuously go through this process where their body composition is just getting worse and worse because of the process that they're using to get there.
Yeah, no, that's super important. The body, it keeps score of every single diet that we ever do. And especially more so if your diet doesn't have an exit plan. And I'm sorry, but I don't know any 4-week, 6-week, even 12-week program on the market that has an exit plan.
Nope. There's no way that the majority of the population and women that we work with are going to see the absolute results that they want in 12 weeks.
Mm-mm. No.
We won't work with people for less than that, because you won't see, like, the first 12 weeks you're laying the foundation. More than likely you're having to do some metabolic restoration because of years of dieting. And so you're having to restore your body to homeostasis so it actually responds to a diet, because it's very uncommon for us to have clients come to us and go right into a fat loss phase. Usually there is some process of metabolic restoration because they've been dieting for years and years and years. And so that's why I see a lot of people stop, in their weight loss journey, is because they hit this plateau. They've experienced metabolic adaptation. And so they stop because they're frustrated. They're no longer seeing progress. And that usually just which only gets worse and worse over time. So it's really important to lay that foundation. And I don't like to use the term like earn the right to diet, but you're setting yourself up for successful dieting, right? You're setting yourself up so your body feels safe enough to lose the body fat because you spent years and years restricting it. So the last thing it wants to do is give up its energy reserves because you have a body composition goal.
Yeah, no, that's such a good point. We have quite a few people watching. So if you're on Facebook and you have questions, just throw them in the chat. We can see that and we're happy to get your questions answered. I know Nicole said something
Yeah.
about early eating. How many calories should I start with to get back on track? That's a hugely individualized question, and without any other information, like we really can't tell you how much to eat because we don't know any of the variables.
Right.
But
There's a lot of things that contribute to your daily calorie intake and what you should be eating. And what that is for somebody else isn't going to be what it looks like for you. It depends on your dieting history, your height, your weight, and your activity, your body composition. There's a lot that kind of plays a role in that, which is the issue with like most online calculators, because they are just going to throw out a generic number based off of your age, height, weight, and maybe activity level. And so you're really just kind of throwing darts in the dark to figure that out. I always recommend people start tracking, see where they're actually at first, and then you'll figure out where you need to go. And I always give this analogy to clients, like if you were to go into your phone, but you had your location settings turned off, you went to your GPS, you plugged in an address, it's going to say, I can't tell you where to go because your location's off. It's the same thing with tracking. You know, if you don't know where you're at, you don't know where you need to go.
right. No, that's so true. Yeah, we have to know how much gas is in the tank.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nicole, if you want to just send me a message, I'm happy to help you kind of walk through that and figure that out. What else you got on your side? Any other questions?
No, those were kind of the big ones. Just, years of dieting, it's only going to get harder and harder to lose weight if you don't take that break and go through a process of restoring your metabolism. And that might mean gaining 3 to 5 pounds, depending on your dieting history. And I know that sounds scary. I said that on a live in my Facebook group a few weeks ago. 6 people dropped off the call. And I'm like, I get it. That's a scary thought. The process of restoring your metabolism it's a scary thought. I mean, you have to eat more food, and that alone can be really intimidating. But look at your history, right? How many bouts of dieting have you participated in? And this is probably the one thing that you haven't tried. So why not give it a try? It might just be the thing that works better than everything else because it's completely different than everything else.
Right. No, that's such a valid point, because if you're doing something that's not working, how many more years or even decades of your life are you going to waste time doing something that's not working?
No, for sure. And I get it. It's something that's comfortable. Like we all think we just need to restrict ourselves, right? To see the body composition changes that we want, to lose the weight, to look lean and toned. We just think we need to restrict ourselves and limit the foods that we eat and, have all of these food rules in place. And that's not necessarily the case.
No, that's where they've been sold on the live from the fitness industry.
Yep.
You just need the perfect diet. You need the perfect food combination. You need the perfect meal timing. You need the right supplement. And then everything will fall into place when it's not, and it can't, because your body simply can't respond well because you downregulated it.
Yep. And you're just going to perpetuate an all or nothing mindset. And so when you have birthday cake at your kid's birthday party on the weekend, or you go on a date night and you have a cheeseburger and French fries, and the scale goes up a couple pounds, you're going to say F it and completely fall off the wagon, because you're perpetuating the cycle of on again, off again, on again, off again. It's either perfect or I'm failing. I'm either doing all of it or I'm not doing any of it. And, I'm sure your process is similar, where when you come on as a client and you are going through this metabolic restoration, we take that focus off of dieting, right? The focus is not currently losing body fat. It is making your body happy, healthy, and ready to lose body fat. We're making it feel safe. And we're focusing on your day-to-day habits that are going to support successful fat loss. So most people mess up by approaching their fitness and nutrition goals, first of the year or on Monday or whenever they kickstart this, right? And they go, okay, I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day. I'm going to eat fruits and vegetables at every meal. I'm going to walk 10,000 steps. I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week. I want to lose 10 pounds in 30 days. I'm going to do this, that, and everything else. And you're going to burn out within 2 weeks, right? And so you're going to be a lot better off mastering one thing at a time, taking the emphasis off of dieting for a little while, and then set yourself up for success down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the foundation.
Yes, it is.
All right. We'll give you on Facebook another chance. If anybody has questions, you can go ahead and drop them into the chat. We'll make sure that we get those answered for you. But if we don't have any other questions, we can get things wrapped up.
Nicole said, I just want my health back and mental strength. I love that.
Yep, sounds like restoration is needed for sure.
Yes.
All right. So I look forward to talking with you later, Nicole. We'll get you squared away. Yeah, but if that's it, any other questions? Okay.
I don't think so. This was a good one.
Good. All right, awesome. Well, thank you for coming in and sharing so much information with us. It's really nice to have them, I think, hear from, someone else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So thank you for sharing your knowledge and your time with us tonight. I appreciate that. And for those of you that are watching us, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. And I'll be live in the group tomorrow, I think that was the plan. And I just want to go over some of the scholarship details with y'all. But anyhow, have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your time tonight, Amanda, and have a wonderful evening.
All right. You too.
Thank you.
No problem.